With already 16 goal contributions this season, Viktor Gyökeres is the real deal. And I personally believe he is the answer to a lot of Arsenal's problems. Now, this season, Arsenal have played a different tactical approach in certain games. They kind of went for a Jose Mourinho, defend extremely well, keep a clean sheet, and come away with 3 points against Tottenham. They showed heart and desire in the 1-1 draw against Brighton, albeit with 10 men for 40 minutes. Tactically outclassed Unai Emery and won against Aston Villa with another clean sheet, and showed some of their attacking qualities against Wolves. We are here to talk about how Viktor Gyökeres genuinely, if Arsenal were to sign him, it would make them elite. They already are an elite team, but they need a killer in the box. And that is exactly what this guy is. If you're new to the channel, please do go down and hit that subscribe button. The road to 25,000 is well and truly on. And make sure you drop a like on the video if you haven't already. Fantastic night in the Champions League last night. Liverpool dominating AC Milan at the San Siro again. Harry Kane scoring 4 goals. Endrick with a 95th minute goal. His first goal in the Champions League, I believe. Tonight, Tottenham are up against Coventry and Inter Milan are away to Manchester City. And tomorrow night, we've got Atalanta versus Arsenal. Lots of football coming your way, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. Now, Viktor Gyökeres has had an unbelievable start to the campaign. And he's kind of proving a lot more of his doubters wrong. 7 games, 10 goal contributions for Sporting. 8 goals. 1 assist in 5 games in the league. Scored last night against, I believe it was Lille in the Champions League. An unbelievable strike for Sporting in that game as well, which was an absolute worldie of a strike. I think it was from the fullback against Lille yesterday, De Bast. And Angel Gomez, unfortunately, for Sporting was sent off, which isn't great from his perspective. Now, looking at these numbers, the guy genuinely is elite. He is elite. You know, scored in the Champions League. As you can see, played, what was it, 80, 90. He played the full 90, which is impressive. And then he's taken that form into Sweden with a goal and 2 assists against Azerbaijan and 2 goals against Estonia, which puts him at over 16 goal contributions in 10 games. This guy, I am running out of words to describe him. And there's been a lot of talk about Nico Williams this season. He hasn't had the best starts to the season, with only 1 goal and 0 assists for Athletic Bilbao, or Athletic Club, whatever you prefer to call them. And, you know, the Mirror and a few sources are coming out and saying that Arsenal are still keeping tabs on him. Now, his record is absolutely phenomenal this season. And his record in terms of Liga Portugal is incredible. Last year, 29 goals and 10 assists in Liga Portugal. This year, already 9 goal contributions in 5 games. Running out of words. You know, and his record for Sweden is very good as well. So far, he's played 8 games in the Euro qualifiers and got 4 goal contributions. And Sweden have actually got some talented players. Lucas Bergvall, Dejan Kulusevski, Alexander Isak, and of course, Gyokeres. I want to look at his numbers this season so far for Sporting. And when you look at these, you are talking about one of the most complete strikers in world football right now. And what could he do for Arsenal is a huge question. Because I think if they have him in their ranks, they win the Premier League without hesitation. Look at those numbers. Top 2% for non-penalty goals. Top 2% for non-penalty XG. Top 9% for shots. Top 4% for assists. Top 2% for assisted goals. Top 2% for shot creating actions. Passes attempted is still very high for a striker. Top 20%. Progressive carries, take-ons, touches in the attacking penalty area, and progressive passes received. Top 1%, guys. We are talking about an elite striker. These numbers are actually better than Erling Haaland's in terms of progressive carries, take-ons, touches, and progressive passes received. I mean, look at, I mean, Santiago Jimenez, Brian Bobby, Luis Suarez. I mean, there's some good names on there, but the guy is absolutely relentless. Relentless. It's it's unbelievable his numbers so far this season. And if you put him in that Arsenal side alongside Havertz, alongside Sterling, Jesus, Trossard, Martinelli, Saka, they are blessed, absolutely blessed with attacking options. And Arsenal have been criticised somewhat so far this season, and they're unbeaten in the league. They've played 4, they've won 3, they've drawn 1. They haven't scored as many goals as Aston Villa or as many goals as Manchester City. But I don't necessarily think they need to go and blow teams away every single game. And it's very hard to do that. You know, if they had Erling Haaland up front, they could quite easily do that. But they've changed their tactical approach in certain games. They're slowing games down more. The defense is extremely strong. Extremely strong. You know, they have not trowed in a single minute of an away game since the calendar year. Do you know how insane that is? Like, I don't think people are actually understanding how insane that is. They're unbeaten from home this calendar year. They look very, 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 very strong. Defensively and, you know, going forward. Yes, their XG isn't as high as it was at the start of last season, but they're also conceding less goals than the start of last season. They've got the same amount of points roughly as the start of last season or the year before. They look absolutely incredible defensively. And if they can build on this, I just think they're going to have a very strong season again. But if you factor in when Mikel Merino, Odegaard and Rice are all back in the team together, I don't see why they can't challenge to the very, very end again. I predict them to win the league. If they beat Manchester City just once, I believe they'll do that. And in January or the summer, the Viktor Gyökeres, the Nico Williams talks are going to build up again. And I personally believe Viktor Gyökeres is the answer. They have to sign him. £84 million release clause, €100 million release clause. They have to sign him. You know, Sporting lowered the sell-on clause with Coventry by a significant amount. They went from 15% down to 5%, which kind of tells me that they are at some point anticipating the sale of Viktor Gyökeres. And I think whichever side he joins, they are going to be blessed with his talent, because he's phenomenal, guys. Absolutely phenomenal. He has got everything you need in a striker: hold-up play, creative, goal scorer, clinical. Done it in Europe, done it in the Championship, done it in Liga Portugal. He's got a lot of experience. He's at a good age where he could come and play his prime years at Arsenal. He's 26. You know, his record for Coventry in the Championship, 21 goals and 12 assists in 49 games in the 2022-2023 season. 33 goal contributions in 49 games. He's absolutely incredible. I think whoever signs him, they have got an absolute gem. Nico Williams is another guy that's being spoken about a lot this season. Last year, 11 assists, 5 goals, 16 goal contributions in 31, and an incredible run in the Copa del Rey, winning the Copa del Rey and practically carrying Bilbao to the finish line. Heavily linked with Barcelona, predominantly a left winger, 47 goal contributions and 127 for Athletic Club. You put him on that left-hand side, and there's a lot of question marks about, does Trossard really fit the bill? There's a lot of question marks about Martinelli's form. If they were to bring in Nico Williams and Gyokeres, two absolutely huge statements of intent. You know, Arteta's got a 3-year contract extension, or they've added 2 more years, 2 or 3 years to his contract extension. So they're clearly happy with the progress they've seen with Mikel Arteta. They've challenged the greatest Premier League side of all time not once, but twice. Only missed out narrowly by 5 points and then closed the gap to 2 points. And if Arsenal want to win the Premier League, they have got to be near on perfect every single game week, which is, years ago, you could win a Premier League title on around 85 points. Now you're being pushed to the 91s. Manchester City finished on 97 points at one season and beat Liverpool not once, but twice to league titles. So Arsenal have got to be near on perfect. And I do think next summer they will go out and sign that striker, whether that's an Alexander Isak, whether that's a Viktor Gyökeres, whether they bring in a left-sided winger of Nico Williams. I think for certain, in the next 12 months, Arsenal will break the bank, like they did with Declan Rice. How many people talk about Declan Rice's £100 million price tag? They don't. How many 100 million to 120, 130 million pound signings have worked out? Not many. But Declan Rice is one of the guys who you can go, do you know what? He has worked out. And no one ever speaks about his price tag anymore. Genuinely, Declan Rice has been a very strong signing. And I think Viktor Gyökeres or Nico Williams will be exactly the same. But for Arsenal now, it's about the next 4 days. Huge games for Arsenal coming up. Tomorrow night in the Champions League. Sunday, the biggest game of their season, arguably. They've already got past the first test, which was Tottenham away, which tactically, I don't even want to talk about that game anymore, but they got the right result. I think comfortably they beat Leicester and Bolton. I think we can all agree on that. And then PSG will be a very, very, very tough test at the Emirates. But if they can get past Atalanta, if they can get a win against Atalanta and a draw against Manchester City, I think that is a very, very good run of games and a good run of results. Then they can rotate heavily against Bolton and arguably against Leicester and have a relatively fit squad and a healthy squad other than Odegaard and Mikel Merino. You'd imagine Calafiori would be fit then, and Declan Rice will be back from his suspension to play at PSG. And then they're already 3 weeks or so through this kind of problem without Martin Odegaard. So let me know your thoughts down below. Do you think they will sign Gyokeres? Do you think they will sign Nico Williams? I think he is the answer to a lot of their problems. I'm going to be honest. And if you call it problems, you're being extremely critical. But right now, I personally think they are in a very good place. And I think with a couple more signings, they will be very, 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 very strong. Let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you tune into the watch along on the main channel, Coventry versus Tottenham. I will see you all soon. Thank you all for watching. Drop a like. Make sure you have subscribed. The road to 25k is well and truly on. And I will see you all in the next one. Thank you all for watching.